What's good, everybody? We are going to go over the market recap from Friday, October 6th. We placed 6 trades. We were 6 for 6, and we're going to go straight into it. All right, so we got Eli Lilly on the chart. This is the 4-hour time frame, and this was our first trade, right, of the day. This was actually a swing, right? So how did we get to this point? Since we're on a 4-hour, each candle means it's 4 hours, right? So we're gonna look at the highs and the lows that we have here, right? Just the obvious ones. And this was a very obvious line because we had earnings and we shot up from 450s all the way up to 540, right? So it took a lot of pressure to stop this price from moving up. That's why this is a strong level. All right, so we are going to zoom in just a little bit, and we're going to look at this level here. All right, so we pushed up. The next day we pulled back. So all of this momentum is still being relieved in this pullback, right? Which makes this level very strong, right? If you take a look at the volume versus how much volume we had before, you could see this is a huge increase. We still have some good volume on this day, which is why these highs and lows are good levels to draw. All right, I also drew the lows of the next day and the previous day. You can see a double bottom and we went up. All right, so this is just the context for the trade. Now we are here at this point, and we're going to zoom in from the 4-hour to the 15-minute chart. All right, so notice we've been coming down for a few weeks, right? Nice downtrend, lower highs, lower lows. Now we're going to zoom in to this point, right? Because right here is where we drew one of the lows from the 4-hour time frame, right? So I noticed that we hit that level and then we got a nice bounce, right? Before I even noticed this price action, I drew this supply zone here, right? Why? Because we had a nice push down from this area, and then also I decided to draw this demand zone here because we had a nice push up from this area. So now we're going to zoom in a little bit more. All right, so the supply zone caused the price to come down, and then we pushed up the next day, right? And when we came down, right, as the shorters would expect, right, to continue the downtrend, we didn't. And where was it? It was right at this demand zone. All right, so we came down into it, we pushed up into that supply, which tells me that this is valid, right? This is a valid supply zone. And we came back down, which you would expect after such a strong red candle. We're gonna flush, right? But we didn't, right? Instead, we got a hammer candle. This tells us that we tried, but then we pushed back up. So this shows that this demand zone is very strong, right? So just seeing this activity gave me a bullish bias. Now we went down again, but if you see here, we actually rejected or bounced at this yellow moving average. That's my 50 moving average. All right, very high probability for uptrends, and you can see that we bounced off of it. And when I seen that, right, this reaction, I actually grabbed some calls for 36 cents, right? Ended up swinging it, and we was up in good profit in the morning. But what I noticed is that we actually broke this supply zone, which is supposed to be pretty strong, right? And if we're gonna break this, that means there's a lot of stops on the top, and they're gonna be stopped out, which could send this moving up pretty fast. All right, so I decided to hold on, right? Still in profit, and I decided to swing another day. And when I woke up on this day, our 36 cent option actually turned into 200. Let's see how much. Yeah, $280, right? So $2.80 from 36 cents. That is about a 777% profit. All right, so that was a great trade there, and we wasn't done, right? Because we took another trade on this day. Trade number 2 was for 363%. All right, at 10:38, I actually grabbed some calls, seeing this strong bounce off of this 9 EMA, right? So you pushed up. What does a trend do? It pulls back and then it pushes up again. So that's why I grabbed some calls, and we held this 9 EMA the entire time. I sold at 11:31, which wasn't that far, right? Yep, this candle. So from here to here, right, I bought a contract for 55 cents, sold it for $2, right? And you're probably wondering how am I getting these crazy percentages off of these small moves? Well, these are with Friday expirations, right? It's pretty risky, but with more risk, the greater the reward, right? If you don't want to take as much risk, then you will take the next week expiration date. All right, so that was Eli Lilly. You could see it kept on going. Would have been a good one to hold for the day. That contract for 36 cents turned into $13, right? Which is $1,300, right? So imagine putting $36 in on Wednesday, coming back and getting $1,300. Crazy, right? This one for 55 cents turned into $800 by the end of the day. So this is a sign and proof to show you that we should all be keeping our eyes on Eli Lilly, because the premiums of the options pay. All right, so we're gonna keep it moving. That was the first 2 trades for the day. We took 6, right? So we're gonna move on to NVIDIA. All right, now the reason why NVIDIA was on my watch list is because it's always bullish. When, I mean, I would say always, but during this period, NVIDIA is one of those hottest stocks where everyone wants some shares. Why? Because AI is taking over, you know, just to keep it real. And NVIDIA is one of those companies that is the leader in the AI space. And just like how we all know Apple really isn't going anywhere anytime soon, we see insane potential in NVIDIA. So whenever there's a market bottom and everyone is just trying to think, what should I buy? I believe NVIDIA is one of the top ones that come to mind. So what am I seeing on this, on the technical side, right? Let's zoom out just a little bit. All right, so we're on the daily time frame. You could see we're pushing up, right? We made a higher high, came down to this 50 moving average, pushed up again, made a higher high, right? So we're keeping it very simple. Higher highs and higher lows is what makes an uptrend. So if price comes down near this low, what should I be expecting? Should I be expecting it to go down or expect it to go up? Well, according to the trend, right, it's showing us higher highs, so I would expect a higher low, which is what we started, and that's what gave me confidence to begin with. Now we're above this 50 EMA, which is bullish in itself. We closed above it, came down to hold this EMA as support. This is the 9 EMA, right? So I used 2, the yellow and the blue. We held that support, and that gave me more confidence that we could push up. All right, so it's all of a matter of finding the right level that's going to give you confidence that other people would be coming into the market, right? So that's the daily time frame. We're going to look at the 4-hour just to get more context of what's going on. We got the price above the 50 EMA, we came down. Very similar to the daily chart, but above this 50 EMA, making higher highs, higher lows. All right, so we're gonna zoom in more. Let's go to the 15, and let's see exactly what I've seen today. All right, let me just look at some notes. Trade number 1, right, was for 80%. Now, why did I take this trade? All right, we're gonna show you from the 1 hour time frame something that I call a secret, right? It's not really a secret, but I like to say it's something that gives me a lot of confidence. And when you see price is in clear air, right? Clear air means there's nothing in the way of stopping it from going further up, right? So here I see no highs, no lows in the area, right? So this is a space from about 444 to 455. So if it closes above this level, I'm confident it could get to this level. So we actually, let me zoom in. This is what the clear air space looks like. So we closed above that level here, pushed up, but we didn't quite make it to 455 yet. Instead, we pulled back, you know, chopped around. But then once we got over this 50 EMA again, and we came down to hold it as support, also at this previous low, right? That's confluence to tell you this is a nice area where we could head back up, right? Where could we head to? This 455 area. You could see we actually touched that today. So we're gonna zoom in again to the, let's use the 5 minute. I'm gonna give you some details, right? Because we took 3 trades off of this one move, right? You have the option to just hold one trade, but we don't really know if it's gonna make it there in one shot. And on top of that, I decided, with the conviction that I had on these trades, to take the same day expiration, which is, like I said, more risky, but with more risk you get reward. The whole key is to manage your risk, right? So my first trade was for 51 cents, right? 51 cents at 1013. 1013 was within this candle. We're gonna zoom on in, right? What am I seeing at 1013? I'm seeing this consolidation, right? Because consolidation, as the price is going down, tells you that we are starting to see some bullish pressure coming in, right? If it wasn't any bullish pressure, then we would just drop down, right? So seeing these wicks help confirm that there's some buying pressure. Price being over the 9 EMA help confirm that as well. And then the volume is helping to confirm it. All right. This entire time, I'm looking at the SPY. So the SPY is already giving me a nice bullish confirmation around this time as well. So there's a lot of probabilities that's working in the bull's favor. And I ended up grabbing some calls for 51 cents at 1013 and at 1026. Sold it for 86 cents, which was a 80% gain. All right, that is about 15 minutes. So that was my first trade. Trade number 2 came at 1101. All right, 1101 is right here. Why did I take this trade? Because we had a nice push up, closed above this level, came down to my 9 EMA, which is a good area for entries, gave me a bullish reaction, right? And we sold this trade that we bought for 36 cents at 1139, which was right on this candle here. Nope, this one. So 1139. So we got a trade, we got a call option for 36 cents, sold for 88 cents, which was 131% gain, right? That's trade number 2. Trade number 3 was a 52% trade at 1154. So 1154, where are we? Right there. We're still pushing up. A lot of people, they're scared, right, to enter the market above, after price has ran up a lot. But just seeing the pressure of the SPY, seeing the pressure of the stock here, I decided to grab some calls for 37 cents, right? Notice I'm keeping all of these around the same premium, which is how I manage my risk. All right, 36 cents to 56 cents was my trade. I bought it at 1154, and then sold at 12.04 right here. So at this red candle, right, from here to there, that was 52%, from 37 cents to 56 cents. All right, so great day on NVIDIA. Looking forward to what momentum it has in the future, but we're gonna move on, right, to our last trade of the day, which actually was a swing, right? A swing on Tesla, and this is a cool one. All right, we got many different ways to enter the market, but to know how to enter the market, you got to analyze what you got in front of you first, right? The better your analysis, the better your entries, the better your exits, right? So we're on the daily time frame. How do I draw my levels? Start with the obvious ones, right? The highs, the lows. That tells you the range that the price is in, and that's how I just came up with some of my levels. Nothing too crazy to analyze on a daily, except for we're above this 50 EMA. That's bullish, right? We have a higher high, right, than this high. We came down, we broke this low, but we came down here, created this low. Now if I'm looking at the overall picture, this is the overall low, this is the overall high. So even though we came down and we broke this one, this low is still higher than this low. So the uptrend is still intact for right now. If we're seeing the wave from there to down here, could go up to there, right? And that's trend analysis 101, higher highs, higher lows. So we took a little bit of a step further, right? If we look at the 1 hour chart, right, and we just see the recent price action of Tesla. This is the last 3 days. So this is what I did. I grabbed my Fibonacci tool. Why did I use it? Is because the market had a nice move up and had a nice pullback. When we see a pullback after these run-ups, then that gives us the opportunity to still catch some of that momentum going back up. So I started my fibs from the bottom of the wave to the top of the wave. Now 61.8 is a very high probable area where price could reverse. So just seeing that in the morning told me that this is where I should be looking to enter. All right, we're gonna zoom in to the, let's go 15 first before the 5 minute. All right, so you got a nice, this is the morning, Friday morning, we got the market open, beautiful push down, right, into that 61.8 level, right on the money. We pushed through it and then we couldn't close below it, right? We pushed back up on this green candle, which is even more bullish, right? Because it's telling us that we rejected this level, right? Not just trading at it. So we pushed up. Once we're above this 9 EMA, that should give more confidence to grab some calls. All right, so I ended up entering the market at 10.53, which was within this candle here when I seen that it was starting to hold that support, and I bought it for 92 cents, held it throughout the day, and we ended the day up 52%. Because it's a swing, I did not exit the trade, and we will see what the market brings us. Right, great trade, great opportunities. Couldn't ask for a better day, you know. But before we leave, we're gonna see why the market was so bullish today, right? If you want to understand the overall market, you definitely want to take a look at the SPY, right? As the market was coming down, right, we're going sideways, and on this Friday, after a whole week of chop, we decided to have one of the biggest days of, I would say, the summer. Honestly, we could say we started at 420, right, this area. Why is 420 such an important area, right? I'm gonna show you guys why is 420 such an important area. So this is the daily chart. If you notice, we pushed up and we created a high. So that's a resistance level, right? Back down, back up. We never retested this high as support, right? We retested this one, right? You see here, came down, but we never retested this one. So long story short, we did all that just to come back down to retest it at 420, and that's what gave us that nice big push, which resulted in a day that looks just like this, which is insane, from 420 to 431, and very little pullbacks. So this was obviously a perfect day for calls, and yeah, we don't know if this momentum will continue Monday or Tuesday. It could pull back, could keep going, but that's why we have our patterns, our key levels, and our system of exiting the market so that we can capitalize on these moves, whether it's going up, whether it's going down, whether it's ranging, whether it's trending, right? So I follow my patterns because they work for me. I follow my levels because they work. And yeah, this was a good day to be able to use all of my patterns, all of my levels when there is momentum flowing in the market. So great day, and I enjoyed this market recap. There will be more recaps during the week. Feel free to reach out to me on Instagram at Trading with Cam, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.